This is the Louie T Network. Hey, either you're outside or you're
in the lab room.
Who else could it be but me, your man, Louie T? Welcome. You are in the lab room. Of course, I am your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. Week number 13 in the National Football League. New York Football Giants on the road taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is supposed to be a get-back game for the Giants. Get back as in get back on track. Everybody in the NFC has taken their turn, or excuse me, NFC East has taken their turn walloping the Jacksonville Jaguars and getting them a freebie at the expense of this AFC South opponent. And so it was the Giants' turn to do the same. And so if you're the Giants, you just need a win. You're on an ugly losing streak right now. You haven't won a game in a really long time. The losing streak is currently at 5 games. You were once 3-3 on the season. Can you believe that? Heading into that showdown matchup versus the Philadelphia Eagles way back in the day in the season where you were trolloped, lost Victor Cruz. You lost Victor Cruz. Lost Victor Cruz for the season. You haven't won since that game, and it's been ugly. Ugly in here. Oh, in here. Oh, in here. Oh. It's been ugly for the Giants during this 5-game losing streak. And so now this was an opportunity for you to finally get off the schneid. For a week, you were going to be a winner again. The questions about Tom Coughlin's job were going to stop. You were going to actually be able to smile after a game. This was supposed to be that game for you. And it looked like that was going to be the case early. As we jump into the action, Giants jump out to a 21-0 lead. I left the Jacksonville Jaguars for dead in this game after they fell down 21-0. I mean, I was looking at this one probably going to end up being something like 35-17. Much like that Cowboys game was in London. It's going to be something like that. Giants are just going to run away with this one and hide. Jaguars never going to be close in this game. And I said, Jacksonville. Jacksonville. So, my attention really turned away from this game because I thought this game was done. Then it was 21-3. I said, okay. Good, you got on the board. At least you won't be like the Raiders and get shut out of your game. And then next thing you know, I look up and it's 21-10. And I'm like, okay, that's cute. Cut the lead in half, but you're still not coming back from 21 down. The Jaguars don't do that. So, it's crazy to see the score just continue to increase. And then I'm like, Giants haven't scored in a while. But they're still going to win this game because the Jags were down 21 points. They're not scoring 21 unanswered points, are they? Maybe. So essentially, I talk about this all the time. When the Rams blew their big lead, when teams blow big leads, when the Eagles blew a big lead against the Rams but were able to hold on. When teams blow big leads, it always starts with giving up big plays. You're either giving up big plays or you're making monumental mistakes. And for the Giants, they just imploded in this game. Look, the Jaguars are not good enough to come back on their own. They need help. And so you knew that the Giants had to be special in this game in order to allow the Jags to come back down 21. And so here are just a few of the Giant mistakes that allowed this Jacksonville Jaguars team to crawl back into the game and have a chance. There were penalties. There were some bad penalties in this game. There were turnovers. 2 Giant turnovers directly yielding 13 Jacksonville Jaguar points. You've got the Eli Manning fumble that trickles into the end zone. I don't know what the hell Rashard Jennings was doing. He was trying to pick it up. Look, dude, I'd much rather you give away a safety than you fumble with the football and allow the defender to take the football from you in the end zone, which is what J.T. Thomas did. He took the football away from Rashard Jennings and got a touchdown. And so that was the beginning of the end for the Giants right there, as that made the score 21-10. Now the Giants had a chance to put the Jaguars out of their misery once and for all. They moved the football down the field after getting a stop defensively, and they're in field goal range. They send Josh Brown out on the field. He hasn't missed a field goal all season long. He decides to miss his first field goal of the season from about 40, let's call it 47. Might have been closer, might have been a little further. 47 sounds about right to me. Misses the field goal, and that's when you knew, God, that hurt, because that would have killed all the momentum the Jags had. That would have calmed down everything, because it was a storm right now that was brewing, and that would have just kind of settled everything down. You would have had a 2-touchdown lead. You would have won the football game, is what would have happened. Instead, you missed the football. That little bit of momentum that they were building, now it begins to swell. Crowd gets involved, and you give away field position. Of course, that field position that you give away turns into a 30-yard touchdown pass from Blake Bortles to Marquise Lee. It was a beautiful throw. Blake B, I thought, played his best game of the season to date. He didn't turn it over in this game, which is alarming because he turns it over every game. Didn't turn it over in this game. I thought that final possession when they needed that field goal to win, I thought he was tremendous. He used his legs. He used his arms. He did everything that his team needed. And they tried to lose the game. They had penalties and whatnot. They tried to lose, and Blake B would not allow them to lose. He got them in the field goal range. They hammered home, but we're not there yet. So it's now 21-16 after the 30-yard strike from Bortles to Lee. They go for 2, they don't get it. So it's 21-16. Giants still on top by 5. And it's amazing that you see some of the things in this Giants team that bad football teams do. And you don't want to associate bad football with this Giants team because they've been such a good franchise for such a long time, but they're a bad football team. And so Eli Manning throws the pass, I believe to Preston Parker. He's stripped of the football. Ball comes out, scooped up by the Jags, taken to the house. Now they're in the lead. So you've got penalties, you've got 2 turnovers, yielding 13 points, and you've got a missed field goal as the Giants implode. Jags are now up on top, 21-22. They go for 2. They don't get it again. And so Giants have a chance to win this game. They go down to get a field goal. I'm thinking that's the dagger right there. That's the field goal that's going to save the Giants right here in this game and save them the misery of losing to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Not so fast. I say this all the time. You can't allow bad football teams to hang around, especially when they're at home. You give them a little bit of confidence. They don't know what to do with themselves. And the Jags, at this point, you couldn't deny them a victory. And I said this in my AFC South breakdown when I was talking about the teams on that midseason report. I said, look, I just want Jacksonville to find ways to win. You know, down the stretch, we talk about how close they are and how hard they're playing for Gus Bradley. I just want to see them win games. When they're in games, when they're close, at the end, I just want them to find a way to win. And I said, I see Jacksonville winning 2 more games on the season. And I didn't know what 2 they were going to be, but I said, if you're in a ball game, I just want them to find a way to win. And that's what they did in this game. Getting the football, and I talked about this already, Blake B putting together a masterful final drive. His first come-from-behind victory of his career. Congratulations to him for that. Josh Scobie knocks the field goal home to send the Jaguars to a victory and send the Giants to a devastating defeat. As the Jacksonville Jaguars come back from 21 down to defeat the New York Football Giants 25-24. These are the type of losses that are now going to have Tom Coughlin having the question asked repeatedly, are you going to get fired at the end of the season? I was trying to save Tom Coughlin, and I still feel like the man has 2 Super Bowl rings. It can't end like this, can it? It shouldn't, but when it's bad, man, is it bad. Jaguars get a huge win. I'm so happy for the Jaguars because I like Gus Bradley. I like what he's doing with this team. And I just want to see it translate to more wins. This is a results league. You got to win. They got to win here. Feels good for the Jaguars to get their second win of the season. Jags are now 2-10 on the season. Wow, Giants 3-9 on the season after this loss. That's going to do it for Jags Giants. I thank you for joining me. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the lab room. Come back and join me. So I got plenty more games to break down in week number 13 in the National Football League. See you in a bit.